Gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Check, but the thumb kind of wraps on the inside and then the fingers just curl over the top. So you can have the fists kind of facing upwards, or you can turn them down and then they rest down on your knees. I'm actually going to turn them face down. And you just notice there, if you turn them face up, the shoulders, even that tiny, tiny little wrist movement, the shoulders position will change. So you feel where you want that mudra to be placed. And relax that mudra. It's not a clenched fist. The thumb is kind of encased by your fingers. And as the eyes have been closed all night, you can keep them nice and open. Just have a soft gaze. And just take a few breaths. Come into your space this morning for practice. Come back into your inner peace and your body. And allowing your breath to be rhythmic as it comes in and out of the nostrils. And let's start to introduce Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi breath is that slight constriction at the back of the throat, reducing the size of the epiglottis. So you still get the same amount of air coming in. It's just this kind of whisper sound. And an audible sound. You most likely will be able to hear your breath going in and out of the throat. Really allow yourself when you're breathing, when you're sitting, to just be still, find that calm amidst, what is a busy time of the year for you, maybe. And these precious moments when you come to your mat to breathe, meditate, practice asana, whatever a yoga practice looks like for you, these are your moments and they're extremely precious and probably much needed in December. So for the next hour, try to be present with yourself. Try not to let your mind be pulled away into the rest of the day, into other tasks, other things you've got going on. Release the ujjayi, breathe normally. Gently unfurl the fingers, release the thumb from its little cave and wiggle the fingers. Give some movement back into the fingers and the wrists. Start to circle the wrists nice and gently. And take that into the shoulders. So you can circle the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. Really get into the shoulders there. So when you bring them forward, you're rounding, taking them up to the ears, circling back, opening the rib cage, and then they come back down again. And when you move the shoulders, you can introduce the breath there. So as the shoulders come forward and up, you're breathing in. And as the shoulders go back and down, you are breathing out. And at any time through the practice today, you might wish to bring in that ujjayi breath. So release the shoulders, give the body a little shake, 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 lift the arms up. Reach left and right. So you're stretching the sides of the body. So you can stretch all the way from the hip right up to the fingers. And you can drop an elbow. Notice if one side feels stretchier than the other. And then both hands go up. Lift the shoulders here. So really draw the shoulders up towards the ears as you reach. And then nice and slowly exhale. Drop the shoulder blades. Keep the fingers reaching up. And then open the arms back behind you. Fingertips face forward. And you're just going to gently draw the elbows in towards one another. And open the chest. Stretching the lower, the middle, the upper back. Keep the ears away from the shoulders. So draw the shoulders down. Lengthen the neck. Relax the face. Gently bring center. And just interlace the fingers in front of you. And push away. So drawing belly back towards the spine. Rounding. Dropping chin lightly towards the chest. Letting the head become a little bit heavier. Breathe in, bring yourself back into center. Let's take a gentle twist. Going round to one side, doesn't matter which way, opening up the chest to the side. Change the gaze, bring the gaze over the front shoulder. So chin is nicely lengthening away. And then turn the head towards the back shoulder. So a little bit of neck movement there. Bring center. Go to the other side. Again, turning the head towards the front. Chin resting over that shoulder. Bring yourself center and take it to the back. Bring yourself center. If you had cross-legged, bring the soles of the feet together. Move on the sit bones, left to right, little rock. And the knee might come down either side. You might get one knee down, you might get the other. And you kind of teeter on the sit bone. And bring yourself back into center. Make sure those sit bones are nice and grounded, reaching up the arms. Stretch, 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 and drop the left arm down. Side stretch over. So here, just give the rib cage some movement. Roll it open, close it off. Roll it open, and then close it off. And then reaching up and over to the other side. Just getting all the key movements of the spine. Lateral, rotation, flexion, and extension. And then reach those arms out. Lift the knees together. Give yourself a big hug. So get the belly, the chest, all the way over the thighs. Soften over as you give yourself a hug. Let the head just drop down towards the knees. And here you might start to feel that stretch coming right from the base of the skull all the way down through the upper, the middle back. The heavier the head becomes, the bigger stretch you feel. Slowly roll up, swing the legs around behind you, come into tabletop. Find your position of tabletop here and actually come forward just a little bit so that you've got room to extend the legs behind you on the mat. Move the hips gently from side to side and then you can start to introduce circles. So you're bringing the hips back to the heels on your exhale breath. Bringing the body forward as you breathe in. If you like, you can start introducing head, neck, shoulders, cat and cow. Work it with the breath. Find that freedom of movement in the morning. We're going one way, and then we exhale. We take it into child's pose. Reach the fingers away from you. Exhale, melt the chest and the head down towards the mat. Take a moment here just to pause and breathe. Breathing in, lifting back up into tabletop. You're going to start moving the hips forward and back the other way. So circling to start off with, and then introducing head, shoulders, elbows, cat and cow. Use it with the breath. And once you feel that you've done as many as the other side, release the hips back towards the heels, once more returning back into that child's pose. Maybe the knees are a little bit wider, maybe they're together. Notice if you have the knees together, how that breath feels when there is compression from the belly onto the thighs. Breathing in, rolling up gently through the spine. Come to the back of your mat and bring the knees together here. Make sure that the toes and the heels are connected as well. And you can always sit on a bolster if kneeling is a problem for you this morning. Draw the abdomen back in so you can feel this nice long spine. You're relaxed yet firm in this posture. Find these steady breaths, and then we sweep the arms out and back around to take your reverse prayer. So reverse prayer for you can be down at the base of the spine. You might be taking hold of the elbows, the wrists, or maybe you start to slide the fingers up between the shoulder blades, and maybe just the fingertips touch. Now notice, as you've done that, have the rib cages flared out. Try to knit those back in towards one another and find the reverse prayer there. So relax into the tight areas that you may feel. Try to relax the shoulders away from the ears. You might feel it in the upper arms, the biceps, the triceps, the wrists. Wherever you feel the tightness, breathe out into those areas. Nice and slowly release the hands. Bring the hands back around and just give those a little bit of a movement there. I tell you, when I come into that reverse prayer, you're trying to squeeze the heels of the hands together, and it's quite a deep flexion into the wrists. We're going to bring the right leg forward, and here you can always place a block underneath that right buttock. But if you can, and it's accessible to you, you can drop both sit bones down. So left leg is bent. If there's any pressure on that knee, prop yourself up. You can relax that extended leg, but we're going to fold over that extended leg, breathing in, lifting up, and exhale, reach up and over. Try to get both shoulders level, drawing the left shoulder down as much as the right. And we are just warming up, so we don't have to go too deep in the morning. Exhale. Notice where you feel your target areas come. Always working towards your own edge in each posture. Nice and slowly roll up through the spine. The hands come back behind you here and fingertips face forward. We're going to lift those hips so you get a stretch into that left quadricep, lifting hips, and you might release that right toe down. So keep the pressure pushing up towards the sky, pushing away from the palms in the mat. Opening chest, shoulders, trying not to cave in the chest. Lovely, and gently release. Good. Swing the left leg around and carefully move the right. What I think of here is just moving out the calf. If you've got quite big calf muscles, you can lift and roll them out of the way. Again, sitting on something, if sit bones don't quite meet the mat, fill the space between you and the earth. Inhale the arms up, big side stretches here. And then reach up and over the extended leg as you breathe out. So softening into the fold, noticing differences right to left. Notice where those target areas are for you. And drawing down the right shoulder just as much as the left here. Rolling up through the spine, coming back through your center position. The hands sweep back behind you, fingertips face forward, just behind you on the mat, and then push into those palms, lifting hips, pointing left feet down, gives you a little stretch through the top of the foot. Open the chest, collarbones, try not to sink the chest, but simply push, 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 push. Got a quadriceps stretch going on there in the right thigh, deep into the wrists, and gently release. Come off the hands, bring them back around, bring the right leg forward. Give a little bit of love to those hands, circle. Interlace the fingers here and press the heels of the hands together. So a little bit of pressure there and ease off the pressure. Press them together. Ease off, press them together, ease off. Little break dance. Release into fingers and go the other way. Good. Release the hands, swing the legs back around behind you. Slide out into your heart pose. Fingertips come to the front of your mat, melt the chest down. You can always place the chin down or the head or on a block. Exhale, try and soften through the areas of tightness in the upper back. Chest, shoulders, armpits. Keep the feet pressing into the mat, engagement into those lower legs. And sliding forward. Come all the way into Sphinx from here. So simply dropping the hips, opening up the chest. We're missing out that forearm plank there. Open up the chest, press into the forearms. Forearms and elbows are nicely in line with the shoulder width. Middle finger is tracking towards the front of the mat. And really dropping through the weight of your pelvis and your hips here. The glutes are naturally engaged. Nice and slowly widen the elbows as you roll down down to the mat. Bring the hands underneath the head and just gently sway out through the hips. A little stretch coming up into the chest here. The left hand comes out to the side of you in half cactus. So a bend at the elbow, palms are face down. Right hand comes by the face and you simply roll onto your left hip. And you can bend the knees here. So the left hand is in your cactus and the left ear comes down to the mat. You can relax the right palm now and notice how that feels into that armpit of the left arm. Try and drop down as much weight as you can. Rolling back into center. The head comes on the back of the right hand and you release the left hand by the hip, palm face up. And just allow that release there into the left arm. Keep the right hand underneath the head. Take the left hand to the left foot, drawing in for a quad stretch. So half bow, lift and lengthen the knee away and pull the heel in towards the buttock. Exhale there. So we're really trying to release out the front and the back gates of the body in practice. Tightness in the front body might be caused by tightness in the back body and vice versa. So it's important to make sure that both front and back of the bodies get the release they need. Exhale, let that foot float down and bring the left arm by the face. Right hand goes out to the side of you, half cactus, so bend at the elbow, palm face down. You're going to roll over onto your right hip, bending the knees if you need to here, and the right ear comes down. You can soften into that left hand. So maybe you feel differences here as you move to the opposite side. Dropping as much weight into that shoulder as you can. Breathing out the tightness. As you roll back into center, left hand comes underneath the head, right hand goes down by the side of the hip, palm face up. Soften into that right shoulder and right armpit there. Preparing to take hold of the right foot for your quad stretch. Reach back, take the foot, draw the heel in towards the buttock, lengthen that knee and thigh away as you start to draw the hip flexor downwards. And breathe out. Release the hand, release the foot, and bring the hands back underneath the head. Big toes touch, sway out through the hips, just sway from side to side. Hands come to the top corners of your mat, preparing for seal. You might wish to widen the feet to the outer corners of your mat as well. Pressing up, we'll do this 4 times. Ripple up as you breathe in, and ripple down. Breathing in, lifting up. Breathing out, rolling down. Make sure all 10 toes are touching the mat. The heels aren't rolling in towards one another. 3rd time up and lower. The last time we come up and stay in seal, pressing yourself up, really pressing away from the mat, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Try not to let those heels roll in towards one another. Roll the ankles away, and maybe you bring the hands in a little bit more, maybe an inch. Good. Maybe the elbows are straight or bent. Breathing here, relaxing the facial expression. Give yourself a little smile as you lower down. Take a moment to recover from that back extension as you just sway the hips out. Press back, tabletop, and find your cat and cow. Always has to be in there somewhere in a spinal sequence. So just notice now how much movement you may get. And then let's bring right foot forward. This is where you might use your blocks if you've got those handy. So right foot, I'm getting warm again. Whew. Right foot comes forward into a nice little low lunge. So those blocks can be on any level here, but start to sink the hips forward, dropping down, keeping the spine nice and lifted along. Shoulders are relaxed. Head and neck are nice and soft. Draw the abdomen in towards the, navel to spine, really. Nice and slowly pull yourself back into your half splits. So only come back as far as the knee is below the hip. And just keep that foot flat down on the mat for the moment. So the front right leg foot is flat. See if you can feel the stretch coming all the way from the toes right across the top of the foot into the ankle there. The spine is long, chest is parallel to the mat. Use the blocks if you need to, or you may be able to come down onto the fingertips. So you might feel this into the back right hips, into the hamstrings here. Nice and slowly, dig the heel in, draw the toes back, and maybe you slide the heel forward a little bit as you exhale over. So take those moments nice and slowly there. From here, we go into a little twist, rotation through the spine. Again, using the blocks as you need to on the left side of that leg. Sweep the right arm around, connects to the sacrum. Open up the right side of the body. Maybe lifting the top arm up towards the sky. So right arm reaches up, thinking about wrist to shoulder to wrist alignment. Open a little bit more, dig that heel in, pull the toes back towards the shin. Nice. And gently release forward. This is where we bring the blocks back. So if you're on a hard surface, I would strongly recommend just padding out that back knee. So going to bring the blocks back to the behind you and lifting up left arm. So stabilize through that supporting knee and leg. Right hand is on your block, left arm lifts. Little back bend here, so reach back or run out of space above me. So open chest, try to keep the shoulders facing forward, not twisting out to the side. So shoulders are up towards the sky and you're reaching the hand back. You might feel that deep into that left quadricep. Doing great. Nice. Nice and slowly bring yourself back. Take time and care to come forward and sweep the right leg back around to tabletop. Well done. Left foot comes forward. Bring the blocks through for your lunge. So Start to find your lunge, exhaling, dropping hips forward, sliding leg back down, drawing navel to spine as you lift, dropping shoulders, relaxing the face. Slowly pulling back to the half monkey, keeping the left foot extended to the mat, only come back as far as the hip allows over the knee. So maybe that front leg straightens. Try not to pop into the back of this knee. You might need a little softness there. That's okay too. And then keep the chest nice and parallel to the mat. So you're in a nice straight spine if you can. Open the chest. Ready for the fold, draw the toes upwards towards the shin, maybe slide the heel forward just a little bit, and then exhale, fold over that left thigh. Let the head and neck soften to release. Right hand stays down, left hand sweeps around to the sacrum, opening up to the left side. Roll the shoulder away. Maybe the gaze goes up to the sky as well. Gaze can always be down at the mat. Lifting left arm this time, palm faces to the side of your mat. Rotation through the spine there. Good. Nice and slowly bring yourself back. And just bring that block all the way to the back of the mat. Come back onto the knee. Takes a bit of work to get into this one. I know it's a new one. So left hand comes down this time. Right arm reaches up and open up the chest to the sky. Reach it back, little back bend. Shoulders are facing right up to the sky. Nice, beautiful. Flex that front foot, draw those toes in. Yeah. Nice and slowly bring yourself back. Carefully transition forward. And then sweep left leg back. Sway out. Let's come off the knees. Bring the legs forward. Give those knees a little rub after that half monkey back bend. Little shake. Lifting up, forward fold. And reach up and over. Maybe taking hold of the toes, maybe keeping the chest nice and open here. Your choices. Exhale. Reach out, bring yourself back up. Let's come into an upward facing plank or an upward facing tabletop. So the hands come back behind you. Again, fingertips face forward. You might point the feet down. Lift the hips. Push the hips up towards the sky. Push the feet down. Open chest. Gaze might go to the sky, or you may be able to drop the neck back. That's your choice. Push, push, push hips up. That's it. Fantastic. Lower hips. Whoa, come off the wrists. Swing the legs around. Tuck the toes. Come into your downward facing dog. Pedaling out through the feet. Releasing on your exhale. Notice how your downward dog feels after about half an hour of movement. Remember, you're in an inversion here, so the head is below the heart. There's a lot of pressure going into the head. And bringing right foot between the hands. Let's come up into a high lunge. So you can keep the blocks by the side of you there in this high lunge. Drop the hips, press back through the back foot, and keep a long spine here. So crown of the head is in line with hips and heel. Good. Now we come up onto the thigh. Drop the hips a little bit more. Releasing the arms if you wish to here. Centering the weight, bending into the front knee. Bring the hands in towards the heart center and take a twist here. Left elbow to the right knee, draw the thumbs in towards the sternum. You can always drop the back knee to the mat if you need to here. And from here, just bring the body up, keep the hands where they are. Release the hands out. Open the palms to the side. And then this one is your revolved reverse warrior. So that means that your back hand goes to your back leg. You might take hold of the thigh. The front hand lifts up towards the sky and you twist. And maybe you look back towards your back extended heel. So right leg is in front. Right arm is behind. Left arm is lifting. Good. And bring yourself back. Whoa. Hands come down. Take it back into your downward facing dog. If you like to, you can introduce your own connecting vinyasa there, or just stay in down dog or child's pose. So a little bit of challenge there for that revolved reversed half warrior. Looking forward, left foot comes between the hands. Bring the blocks by the side of you should you need them. Drop the hips a little bit, find that length of the spine, so crown of the head, shoulders, hips, heel, all in alignment there. Push back through the back extended leg. Use the core strength to release the hands, bring the hands up onto the front knee. From there, release the hands, come into your high lunge. From there, hands come to the heart center in prayer and right elbow goes to left knee. Draw the thumbs in towards the sternum as you take the twist. Find where the gaze suits you best, either at the front foot or to the top elbow. From here, keep the hands where they are, lift the body, release the hands, palms face the side of your mat, reach fingers forward and back. And this time, the back hand reaches towards your extended back leg thigh, and your front hand reaches up. You've got a back bend with a twist. Bend a little deeper into that supporting front leg. Reach up and back. Oh, release the hands and take your down dog and connecting vinyasa or tabletop and child's pose. Lowering knees down. Take a child's pose, hands come behind you, palms face up. So a little bit of strength needed there in those standing crescent lunges. A twisted lunge, a back bend and a twist. Roll up through the spine. Grab your blocks if you want to use those for camel. So bringing them either by the side of you here Or you can simply just come up into a high kneel and use the hands on the spine to support you. Fingers might face down or fingers might face up. So choose your option of camel here. We're going to hold for 5 breaths. Breathing in for 1. Exhale. Breathing in for 2. Exhale. Breathing in for 3. Push the pelvis forward. Exhale. Breathing in for 4. Relax the face and smile. As you breathe out, last breath, breathe in and come up and lower. Well done. Let's do one last thing whilst we're seated, which is our half spinal twist. So swinging the legs around in front of you. And then we're going to come down onto our backs. Right leg comes across the left. Sit nice and tall here. If you like, you can always bring the left leg and wrap it around as well, but just make sure that both sit bones are connected. Lifting up and over the bent knee. Come into the mudra. So fold the thumb in and curl the fingers over the top of the thumb. Maybe the gaze looks forward. Maybe the gaze looks to the back. So we're twisting towards the right front leg. Breathing in, release mudra, come back to center, release the leg. Bring left across. Make sure you ground through that big toe. Sitting nice and tall, get the belly free of the thigh as you take the twist. And then elbow comes across. Curl the thumb in towards the palm and the fingers just simply encase the thumb, looking forward to the front extended foot or to the back of your mat. Breathing slowly, steadily here. So a practice that is full of spinal work to open up the chest, relieve tightness into the shoulders, into the upper back and the middle back. A little bit of strength work and twists to boost our confidence and energy levels for the day. Bring yourself back into center, release the left leg and swing the legs around. And come onto the belly. Last little one. Sway the hips, release everything as you let go. Choices of bow pose, so keep the knees nice and level with the hips. Take the hands back towards the ankles or the feet. Lengthen the thighs away. You can lift the shoulders only. Maybe you lift the legs as well. Come into bow. Find 3 or 4 breaths. Flexing the feet or pointing the feet, choices. Nice and slowly lower when you're ready. And release out. You might be able to just simply roll onto your back from there. Or you might like to turn yourself around so that you can see the screen. And just gently allowing the spine here to soften and just melt simply into the mat. Relax the belly. The belly becomes heavy, all the organs become heavy and they drop down in towards your spine, and then the spine drops in towards the mat. Gently draw the knees in towards the chest. Knees might be apart, knees might be together. Your choice. Roll out from side to side, making sure that the neck is not taking any tension. You're relaxed in the face, relaxed in the throat. Circle the knees around, so that gives you a little bit of an opportunity of massage. Circle the other way. So not too much hip work today. Only the seated postures will probably give you a little bit of release into the quads and the glutes there and the hamstrings in the half monkey. So taking soles of the feet down, hands by the side of your body. Let's pelvic tilt a few times before we come up into bridge. So this is simply curving the pubic bone up towards the sky and then gently rolling down and maybe pulling the tailbone back underneath you. So it's a reclined cat and cow, using your breath. Getting nice movement into the lower spine. And then last time, pushing into the feet, pushing into the hands, lifting hips up into bridge. Maybe you interlace the fingers underneath the body and you roll a little higher as you bring those shoulders underneath you. Drive the knees forward, keep strength into the legs. Lift the hips a little more, push a little higher. Slowly release the hands, roll down, shoulders, upper, middle, lower back. And take the soles of the feet together, knees out to the side. Butterfly pose just for a moment to recover. Hands come out to the side of you, palms face up. Spread the shoulders, make sure the upper back is connected. So here, these are like oyster clams. So you're actually going to bring the right knee in and slide it over to the left knee into a twist. Keep the right shoulder anchored when you do that. Open up the hip. Place the foot back into butterfly. Left knee lifts, crosses over to the right knee. Keep the left shoulder connected. Knee opens, come back into butterfly. Right knee crosses over into the twist. We'll do this 4 times each side. Time it with a breath now. Exhale into butterfly. Inhale, knee lifts. Exhale, twist. Inhale, knee lifts. Exhale, butterfly. Inhale, knee lifts. Exhale, twist to the left. Breathe in, knee lifts. Breathe out, butterfly. Breathe in, knee lift. Breathe out to the right. Last time, breathe in, out to butterfly. In, knee lifts. Twist to the left, keeping shoulders connected as much as you can. Come back into center, butterfly. Left knee lifts and over to the twist. Breathe in, back into butterfly. Take a few moments. Hands come to the knees. Lift the knees together. Place the soles of the feet wide. Constructive rest. Knees drop together. Soften into the inner thighs, the hamstrings, the hips there. heel toe the feet together. If you have a bolster, a pillow, or blocks, we're going to come into a supported fish. So with a supported fish, make sure the head is supported. So if you've got blocks, the block goes at the back is the highest one. And see how close you can get that to the lower back so that it really deepens your back extension here. So it depends how much your back bends as to where that block's going to go along the center of your spine, making sure the corners aren't digging in anywhere. And you melt the rib cage over your prop, whether that's a nice comfortable bolster or pillow, making sure the neck and the face are soft. You can choose your butterfly again if you like, or simply keep the legs long. And exhaling all of the weight over these props. If you wish to, you can return back to Ujjayi breath here. Slight restriction at the back of the throat. Slowing that breath down, it gives you a bit of warmth. It's a very calming breath. Wiggle the fingers. Release from butterfly if you chose that option. Bring the hands back by the side of the body. Plant the feet, bend the knees, and just gently lift yourself off. Take time to take those props away and roll all the way down onto the mat. Take a moment to lie flat, noticing how it feels when you come out of a supported fish. Let's come into banana asana or our crescent stretches. So shuffling shoulders to the right top corner, lifting the arms up, taking hold of left wrist, and moving left foot over right if that feels comfortable. If you're looking at yourself from above, you be in a nice crescent moon shape. So you've got a little side stretch going on all the way from the ankle right up to the wrist. Try and relax through the left side. Soften into the breath. These are our last postures before relaxation. Bring the arms back into center, shuffle the shoulders. Release the left foot back to where it belongs on the left side of the mat and come into Shavasana for a moment. Recover before going over to the other side. Shuffle shoulders to the left, arms lift up, take hold of the right wrist and move the right foot across. You try and relax into the right side of the body, all the way from the right wrist to the right ankle. And it's really important for the spine to have all of these movements really on a daily basis. So the lateral stretches, you can simply do side stretches for those, spinal rotations, any form, reclined, seated, standing, and get a little fold in there, a little forward fold, flexion of the spine, and also your little back bends, your back extensions. Bring the head the arms, the shoulders into center. Release the hands by the side. Release the foot. Take a moment. Draw the knees in. Last opportunity to roll, massage out. And maybe using blankets, bolsters underneath the knees, eye pillows if you wish to, or just keeping a soft gaze. You know, this is a morning practice, so we don't want to fall back to sleep. But it is your relaxation before the rest of your day, so you make your choices. Just make yourself warm. So just return back to a steady and even, comfortable breath as you now lie here in your relaxation to really validate your own movement practice today. Letting those benefits be absorbed. And every day we have a choice about how we want to feel and what we want to do. Choice requires consistent awareness of how we are feeling and how we want to change until it becomes a habit. That's why each day we can choose to take a step forward as we form new habits. And because habits are formed with time and practice, you already have an existing beneficial habit of your yoga. However many times you come a week, that is your habit. So what will you choose today? Maybe beginning a new habit, something you've wanted to do, or continuing and being consistent as you have already with the habit of a movement practice in the morning. Our shavasanas are short in the morning. We only have such a short time together of an hour, so gently bring some movement. If you like, you can of course stay there a little bit longer, but your choice again, always. And maybe just rolling out and bringing yourself up to a comfortable seat and just taking a few moments to become realigned again as you sit, preparing yourself for the rest of your day, mentally, emotionally, and physically, which you have already done. Thanking yourself, your body, your breath, and I thank you. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.